I just went and saw the Backrooms movie by Kane Parsons. And what do I think? It's pretty good. Really good, I would even say. I honestly really enjoyed this movie. It was insanely good. Like, I had high expectations going into it, but it kind of blew me away just with how amazing it was. It was nothing I expected it to be. It was just amazing. And I just want to yap about it for a bit, since I kind of wanted to do one of these, like, videos where I talk about movies that came out, or, like, just have come out, or stuff like that. I'm testing with my content here, but I just want to yap about the Backrooms movie for a bit, because I really, really like this movie. It was insanely strong, but I'll go more into that in a second. Also, by the way, this video has spoilers for the movie. Go see it for yourself first before you watch this video. Let's start off with the main character.
Let's meet Jeffrey, shoot-stone lefty.
Clark is the main character of the movie we mainly follow through the story, till, like, near the end, but we'll get to that, later. He is divorced and goes to therapy with Mary, the other main character of the movie. Anyways, Clark is really, really down in the dumps. His business, Captain Clark's Ottoman Empire, is currently failing in business, isn't attracting a lot of customers despite the commercials he puts out, and he's low-key just really, really depressed. And eventually he's noticed that the lights are starting to flicker, like, on and off at night, at day, like, at random. And when they go to check the fuse box, it has, like, free extra, like, switches that are just, like, at the, like, the bottom, almost like they were, like, molded in there. They aren't natural. Then Clark goes to bed one night and sees a light coming from the basement, and when he walks by, he notices that there's, like, a little sliver of light in the wall. He goes into it and no-clips into the back rooms. This begins his mental decline into insanity. Clark walks around for a bit and eventually finds this caveman cardboard cutout that's, like, saying a bunch of greetings in different languages, I'm, like, pretty sure. He then, eventually, though, something breaks down the cardboard cutout and he has to run away, goes back into his furniture store, takes one of the furniture pieces with him. I still don't know why he did that. Maybe it's because, maybe I can sell this or something. Then eventually he grows obsessed with the Backrooms, starts talking about it at his next therapy session with Mary, and he says, I'm going to bring back proof that this exists, because Mary doesn't believe him, and Clark got pissed. So he takes his two employees, Bobby and Kat, to get a camera to go into the Backrooms to record footage, which they do. And things kind of go downhill from there. Bobby goes down, like, to this section where, like, there's a bunch of, like, laundry and clothes and stuff, and eventually meets up with the still life. Yes, it's not Lifeform. Lifeform was not in the movie. I was sad, but still lifes are cool, and I like the still lifes. Anyways, back to Bobby. He is successfully able to climb back up, but these dumb people still had the blue rope around him, so he gets pulled down there to his death. And they apparently are too busy looking down to see that the bed was still attached to the rope, so that pushes them down there too. We see Bobby's dead body getting dragged away into a sideways door. Kat goes and chases after him, and whole, like, chase sequence occurs, kinda. Like, it's one of those that you would see in, like, Kane's found footage videos. Clark runs around for a while, sees a bunch of stuff, and eventually finds himself in a corner, hiding from the still life, and hears Kat's voice on the other side of the wall. And apparently, she can see him through the wall, despite, on Clark's side, there being no glass. And then a still life picks up his camera, and we cut off.
That was really bad.
So yeah, things aren't good for Clark. We think he's dead, but we'll touch on that later. Anyways, we need to talk about Mary now.
Promise to never go outside again.
Mary's whole arc in the movie is, like, kind of confusing. Basically, we see her at the beginning of the movie, like, with people demolishing her house, and she keeps, like, one of the, like, cement like pieces of the sidewalk with her handprint in it, where her and her mother put in it. Later in the movie, we also get flashbacks to her and her mother. At some point, basically, it's one where her mom says she shouldn't go outside, and like she's like cover the window with a bunch of like newspaper articles and stuff. It's very confusing. And then in the next flashback, after Clark chokes Mary out, oh yeah, he does that. I'll get back to that in a bit. We cut to her mother in the hospital being wheeled away, while B1 by the Caretaker is being played. Not A1, B1. Hearing a Caretaker song in the movie was surprising, but was awesome. Anyways, back to the main plot.
If a baby enters level you cheated.
Mary, after seeing that Clark is missing, decides to go look for him and eventually comes across the Backrooms, falls into it, and walks around for a bit and finds this giant mural that apparently Clark drew about him going through the window. And now Clark finds Mary, they talk a little bit, and then Clark chokes her out. And we get, yeah, like I mentioned earlier with like the flashback with Mary's mother. Then we get to this dinner scene. This dinner scene was really, really, really good. I loved it. It was very strong. I'm not doing it justice here. Just go see it for yourself. It's really good. Anyways, we find out from Clark that apparently the still lifes here he has grown very fond of. You can also eat them. Yes, he like stabs a knife into one of their necks, saying they can't feel pain. Then cuts open their stomach and like eats some of like the foam inside. It was very gross. I was really not expecting Clark to go that far off the deep end that fast. We also meet this really chill still life that's in this wheelchair that turns on the light for Clark, like when he turns off the main lights. And then after a bit more talking, Mary tells Clark he doesn't need to change so he can let her go. We then meet the main antagonist of the movie, Still Life Clark. Or Captain Clark, more likely. Clark tells him that they don't need to change. They don't have to change. They could stay here forever. And Captain Clark, the Still Life, responds by biting into him and eating him alive from the neck. Oh, that was really bad. It made me feel very uncomfortable in the movie. But honestly, props to it for getting me invested. And Mary runs off, and we get this like cool chase sequence where she's like running around, going through doors and stuff. She eventually like climbs over this giant pit into like the furniture store, and then her and Captain Clark have kind of a showdown where eventually Mary knocks over like one of the like caveman cardboard cutouts, and it alerts like causes a lot of steam to go out and knocks Mary out, almost knocks Mary out. And then Captain Clark's right behind her, and that got me a real good scare. That was very spooky. Then Mary like hits Captain Clark with her sidewalk chunk, like bashes Still Life Clark's face in, and the Still Life bleeds surprisingly, even though the other ones did not bleed earlier. Maybe they learned from Clark, or maybe it's just the blood in like the Still Life's mouth from eating Clark. Anyways, Mary skadooches off into a crevice and then is met with Async. Async takes her in and also takes Still Life Clark in, I think. Async questions her, and she asks if she'll be let go, and the person talking to her, whose name I forgot, I'll probably put it up on screen right now, says that's not in his jurisdiction. We then get like slow cuts of pieces of the like world we saw in the Backrooms now, and we end with Mary's Still Life, Mary, sitting in the middle of nowhere, and credits roll. So, that was a lot. If I have to be honest about what I thought about the movie, I thought, as I said in the intro, this movie was really, really good. I loved it. I have been a fan of Kane's series, so this was basically perfect. While I would have liked Lifeform to be in there, I can understand why Kane went the way with the Still Life, since I guess they fit more with the theme of the Backrooms copying stuff from reality, trying to make copies of it. It's a very good movie and made me very, very tense. This movie was really good. I know I'm kind of glazing right now, but oh my god, this movie was so good. Now, you might think, is that really all you have to say? And no, that's not all I have to say. The actors were amazing in this movie. They felt so real and natural. I already mentioned that the soundtrack was really good, and honestly, the effects were really good. The set was so well built, and I just felt so invested in it. It was really good. So some of the shots in the movie were really cool and very good to make you feel uneasy and weirded out, which is kinda, I think, what the whole movie was going for. And last but not least, thank you, Kane Parsons, for this movie. If you are watching this, you have my utmost thanks, and I wish success on your future endeavors. The oldest view movie when...